my channel. Today I want to talk about another situation that's actually local to me somewhat. It's about a woman named Adrielle Sigler. She's better known as VeganRizz on TikTok. As of recording, she has 957,000 followers on TikTok. Adrielle is most well known for her dramatic and sometimes paranoid videos that she posts to TikTok, as well as the very cringy uploads she makes promoting her live videos.
We can go gyat for gyat. No, fuck that. We can go rizz for rizz. I'm in New York on TikTok Live, and the is VeganRizz.
She's live quite a bit.
Sticking out my yacht for the Rizzler. So skibbity, so phantom tax. I just wanna be your Sigma. Hi. I'm Adrielle and I'm live. Click the pink circle.
Today, I'm going to discuss a few times where Adrielle has used her large platform to spread misinformation, garner sympathy, and elicit donations from strangers online. This most recent situation that's been happening over the last month will seriously make you sick to your stomach. But before we get into the longest video I've made to date, if you like watching commentary videos of the latest and lamest things here on the internet, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I upload once or twice a month, as well as going live playing video games as often as possible. Thanks so much for any support, guys. I really appreciate it. Before we go over the more recent stuff, I do want to go over a few situations from the past that Adrielle has posted about, just to show you who she is as a person. Adrielle posts so much, and I mean a lot. Like sometimes over 40 times a day, a lot. And a lot of them are just live promo posts to try to get people to come watch her live. So they have no substance whatsoever. It's just a bunch of filler in between all of these crazy situations and crazy videos she's posted. So it did take me quite a while to find some of these things. Some of these videos have been deleted by her. She deletes things all the time. So it's very easy to just not be able to find things sometimes in this situation. That being said, the order in which I talk about these situations may not be in the order that they happened in. I did my very best to try to put them in some type of order, but it may not be fully in order by date just because of how much she posts. I mean, honestly, even just trying to go back like 1 month, I'm scrolling, and I'm scrolling some more, and I'm scrolling again, and I'm still scrolling, and I'm scrolling some more, and I'm still not there, and then my arm is tired. So yeah, it's literally that bad because she posts so often. So I really hope that I could get this in a somewhat cohesive order. Just basically wanted it to be a collection of situations, of controversies that Adrielle has posted about. With all of that being said, let's get into it. The first time that Adrielle went viral was actually around the time that I had first joined TikTok. It was a few years ago, and she had recorded a video of herself being pulled over on the way home from the gym.
I'm getting pulled
Hello,
over.
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. State police, you have a license on you?
I have my driver's license.
Okay. All right. So listen, you know why I'm stopping you?
I ran the amber. It wasn't red yet. I was under it.
It was red, dear, because I was in the intersection there, and it was red for me, so it was definitely red for you. All right. Where are you coming from now?
The gym.
The gym?
Yeah.
Which gym do you go to?
Planet Fitness.
Okay. It's 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it like a key fob to get in?
No, there's employees.
No. 24/7. There's employees. Okay.
On Mondays through Thursdays.
Oh, okay. Do they still do like the pizza parties every now and then?
I'm vegan, so I don't care if they do.
All right. Do you have the registration on your car?
No.
No.
I mean, like physically?
Yeah. Do you live in PA or do you live out here now?
I live in Jamestown now. I just moved here.
I got you.
I hate to say this, but I don't know.
If you have it, I'll grab it. If not, then don't worry about it.
Do you mind? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can look it up.
I'm
Who's it
insured through.
registered to?
It's me.
You?
It's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back with you.
It was Amber. It was Amber. Amber. It was Amber. I'm getting so angry. I hope I don't get a ticket. I'm so mad. I can't afford a ticket. That is such BS. It was yellow. It was yellow.
Adrielle's reaction to being pulled over in this situation was kind of immature. She's making faces at her phone while she's recording and acting like, you know, it's such a ridiculous thing that this guy would pull her over. He says he saw her that she was not under the red light before it was yellow, which means technically, yeah, even if it's yellow when you're first leaving the crosswalk and entering the intersection, if it's not yellow still when you first are going underneath it, then it's red. You've run a red light. And that's most likely what happened, is it was still yellow when she started to enter, but it wasn't yellow when she was under it. So he was going to give her a ticket. And she just acted like it was totally ridiculous of him to want to do that. And I just think it was silly that she reacted that way. She also put those super dramatic captions talking about she's a single mom with 3 kids and she's, low income, and it ruined her night. She had to cancel her yoga class and her mental health suffered for days afterwards. Just because she got pulled over and got a ticket, it's not as serious as she's making it out to be. She's very good at exaggerating the real life things that she's going through and making them sound like 100 times worse than they actually are. Now, if this is your first time seeing Adrielle, you might think I'm being a little bit harsh, and you may even be feeling sympathy for her. I totally understand. I know I was when I first saw this video. Keep watching the video to find out why you don't need to feel that way for her. Shortly after she was first pulled over, Adrielle became very paranoid in her personal life. She was starting to feel like she was being followed, both outside of the house and when she was at home. She thought people were driving past her house, and she was recording out the window and posting it online. She posted a lot of these very paranoid videos, trying to get sympathy from others, and eventually started to claim that the police officer who originally pulled her over and ticketed her in that first video was actually now stalking her.
Friday at 12:55 a.m., I saw someone watching me from the window of the mall. The mall is empty and closed. I was observing the mall from the inside, trying to figure out what I had just seen. I was live streaming, and I was so afraid that I decided to just leave after I was done with my sets. It's Friday. It's January 27th at 1:12 a.m. As I was leaving, I announced the time, and you see a fresh set of tracks have also just left the gym. I didn't realize this, that I was following a fresh set of tracks, but it was snowing. Those tracks were made within the last 10 to 15 minutes. No one left before me. The tracks turned the same route I take home. The state trooper was just pulling into Wendy's. Just pulling into Wendy's. Right as I left the gym. His brakes were on, but let's follow the tracks. Where do the tracks lead? Right into Wendy's. Then he followed me. Maybe it's since it's not an S. Oh, he's following me. I was terrified.
A few of these paranoid videos came up on my For You page at the time, and a lot of people believed her, including myself. She seemed genuinely terrified and worried for her safety, and by that point she hadn't tarnished her reputation yet, so people had no reason not to believe her. A lot of people, and even victims of stalking, were in her comments giving her advice on what to do to try to protect herself. And one of those things was to start recording anytime she left her house. She would record from the moment she stepped outside until she finally got back home. And that's how we got this video.
A state trooper is stalking me. Ever since I posted this viral video on Facebook a few nights ago when I was pulled over, he keeps driving past me when I'm leaving the gym, and it happened again tonight. And I was like, I'm going to turn around the block and see where he's going. And he disappeared like a shark. So I'm like, I drive back towards my gym. I'm like, is he like waiting for me to get out of the gym? But I couldn't find him. So I started driving home. I gave up, and look what happened.
That's the state trooper. That's the state trooper. That was the state. That was the state trooper. He just made a U-turn. He made a U-turn. It's the state trooper, and he's right behind me, and he made a U-turn. I fucking told you I wasn't paranoid. It's him. I knew I would find him, too, because he follows me home from the gym. I told you I can't make this up. Oh, this is crazy. I'm so glad you guys told me to record it. He's pulling me over. I can't make it up, and I got it on film this time. I got it on film. I told you. I I told you. Ooh, I'll be right back.
Hi, officer. I'm good. How about you?
Do you have your license on you?
Yeah.
So listen, I'm just stopping. You didn't have your seatbelt back on there, Adrielle. Did you have your seatbelt on the whole time?
I do.
Oh, okay. All right. Where you headed to? Back to PA?
No, I'm going home.
Okay. All right. You're all set.
Oh, okay.
I'll see you.
Thank you.
So from what I can tell, what happened here is that she didn't have her seatbelt on. And after they went through the light and then the cop threw his lights on, she quickly buckled it, and so that when he came up to talk to her, she already had it on. That's why he mentioned it. He stopped her because he wanted to give her a ticket for not having the seatbelt on. But when he gets up there and he sees that she does have it on, it's not as good of a case now. She could try to fight that in court. He decided it wasn't worth it to even give her the ticket, so he didn't. He just checked that her ID was valid and then sent her on her way. She always puts so much exaggeration on the actual events. Like, you watch them, you see what happens, but then if she is explaining how it happened, it's always like 20 times worse than it actually was in the video. She was making it seem like this guy was following her and waiting just to try to pull her over, but she even admitted that she was out looking for this guy. So yeah, if you're out looking for him, you're going to find him. His route as a police officer is probably near your gym, and that's why you're seeing him more than once. People assume that just because you see the same person more than once that they're following you. That's not the case. Adrielle did go on to report this trooper for stalking her, and that case was closed, citing no evidence of stalking. But because this trooper was transferred to another area after this situation and after the case concluded, Adrielle still believes to this day that he was sent away due to them having found the evidence, but covering it up to make themselves not look as bad, and then just sending him away so that he can't do anything in that area anymore. So she still believes that he was stalking her, even though the case was closed due to no evidence of stalking. This is not the first time that Adrielle's main character syndrome comes to the surface, and it won't be the last. As you could probably tell already, Adrielle is not shy about posting the most intimate details of her life, so it's no surprise that when she gets into it with a family member, she is posting about it all over her TikTok. One situation that caused a lot of fallout in Adrielle's personal life was when she made a video about a man named Mateo. Mateo was a man who lived with Adrielle's mother at some point in time, and while living with her, he actually went missing. So Adrielle posted a video talking about Mateo and kind of insinuating that she thinks her mother might have had something to do with his disappearance. This caused Adrielle's mother a lot of distress, and then shortly after, Adrielle would receive and then record a very personal and intense phone call between her and her grandmother regarding this situation.
I had to take her mother to get a medical emergency.
For what reason? What medical emergency?
Or she was having chest pains really bad. Okay? This needs to stop. You got to stop going on there and talking about her at all. You told us the other day you weren't not going to talk about her anymore. And
Today marks 4 years Mateo's been missing.
Who gives a shit? You leave your mother alone. Otherwise, people's going to start blasting things on there about you, Adrielle. I'm just warning you. People are going to start putting stuff about you up there.
As if they already don't?
Huh?
So you care more about hiding this story about Mateo than actually getting to the bottom of it and finding him?
Story. There's no story there, okay?
There is a story. He's been missing for 4 years.
Adrielle, leave your mother alone. I'm telling you, something bad's going to happen.
Oh, really? What did she say is going to happen?
Would you please try to talk to sense?
No, please don't.
He's right here.
I don't want to get Grandpa involved in this. If she just stop.
No, you need to stop, Adrielle. What you're doing is totally wrong. Talking bad about your mother.
I shared a story about a missing person.
No. If it's not something, it's something else. You're always bashing your mother. This needs to stop.
He's missing!
Adrielle's grandmother is so upset, and she is trying to explain to her how badly that video she posted affected her mother's mental health. She doesn't even seem to care. She does not care that her posting online like that is affecting other people. Again, she's the main character, and she is benefiting from posting these videos. She doesn't care that it's hurting her family, so she is not going to stop. It's seriously disgusting to watch her grandmother begging for her to stop posting about family online, and during the entire conversation, Adrielle is recording it so that she can post it online. It's absolutely disgusting. Adrielle seems to have this pattern when it comes to her mother. She's nice and kind when she needs something, like for her mom to watch the kids. But the moment she doesn't need her anymore, she will freak out at her, she will say nasty things to her and about her, and then she will cut her off and stop talking to her for a while until it's time where she needs something again, and then she'll apologize and bring her back into her life just to get that thing that she needs. Just to start the whole cycle over again once she's no longer needed. And when there's not a legitimate reason for her to be upset with her mother, she will just make one up.
Today I cash up my mom to get us some groceries. I said I want vegan strawberry ice cream. I want vegan ice cream. I've been sick as fuck for 3 days. All I want was vegan ice cream. I'm searching my freezer. There's nothing. She said she got me vegan ice cream. Then I see this bullshit. She got me sorbet. Who the fuck wants sorbet when they want ice cream? Okay, yeah, it's vegan. Cool. I could just blend up a bunch of fucking berries and freeze it. That's sorbet. I don't have an ice cream blender. I know how to make sorbet. I want something that I can't make. This is a waste of fucking money. This is dumb. Now I don't have vegan ice cream, and I wanted ice cream. Damn it, I haven't had ice cream in like 6 months. And then I caught her talking shit about me on the phone with another family member. So I told her to leave and never come back. Because everyone in my life is two-faced, and I can't wait to move. I'm so fed up with everyone. It's so dumb. And I'm not calling my mom jealous, but I'm just saying the person she was talking to on the phone, I haven't heard from you in since I was 2. So it's the fact that you are wasting breath out of your day to call my mom and talk about me is insane. I don't even know you. And I'm taking up time in your brain. I don't give a shit if you consider yourself family. I don't fucking know you. Bye. I'm so angry. I wanted vegan ice cream, then my mom failed me. Twice in 1 day. 2 times.
Adrielle goes on this whole rant because her mom got her sorbet instead of ice cream. And she said that the reason she was so mad was because she wanted something that she can't make at home, and she said that she could make sorbet herself in the blender if she wanted to. Newsflash, Adrielle, you know you can make ice cream at home too, even vegan ice cream. And this is such a non-issue, it's ridiculous. I thought at first she was mad because her mom got her something that wasn't vegan, but then at the end of the video she shows that it is vegan. Plus, I've had that type of gelato and sorbet from that brand, and it is absolutely delicious. She has no reason to complain about this. And if that's the biggest problem that you have, Adrielle, you are very, very lucky. Now that I have established that Adrielle doesn't care if her actions affect others, as well as the fact that she likes to exaggerate to garner sympathy online, let's go over the several times where her terrible behavior in public has led to her getting into trouble.
This is a video I made today. I was posting my coffee to Snapchat. Best coffee ever. Right as I stopped recording and set my phone down, the coffee shop owners marched over to where I was sitting, shook my hand, sat down, and told me they no longer wish for me to record content in their place of business. It is distracting in a quiet place where other people are trying to work. Meanwhile, you have teenagers, families, and businessmen who come in all the time making the exact same video as me. This small town, small minds, political, I don't know, call it what you want. You have to be part of a circle thing is just total bogus. It's 2023. The only explanation I have for this type of behavior to come from those two business owners is jealousy. I did absolutely nothing. I have never posted a negative thing about that coffee shop. I've never been loud, distracting, or rude. I've always tipped 20%. This behavior is discriminatory, singling me out. I'm their target because they are straight up jealous of me. I'm not sure why it is that people in this small town are so jealous of the fact that I make a living off of social media and they can do the same. The social media platform is right here, wide in the open and ready for you to grow. There's nothing for you to be jealous of and hateful about because you can do exactly what I do. But it's unfair for me when people in small towns, such as the city I'm in, Jamestown, New York, it's unfair when they single me out because of their envy. Because I am doing just exactly what everyone else, what every other customer is doing in their place of business. I'm recording my experience. I'm sharing food pictures. I'm enjoying my time. And isn't that what you as a business would want to be spread all over social media? How many video views have they gotten from my page? Like, if I were to add it up, it's at least 200,000. It's like, why would my content make you so triggered when I'm literally spreading good vibes? They're just mean girls and mean boys. The crazy thing is they're younger than me. They're in their 20s. I'm in my 30s. And they're talking to me that way, calling me out in public. Absolutely mortified I was, sitting on that chair, as if I'm doing something wrong, when I'm sitting there doing exactly what everyone else is doing. They're not getting penalized for it. When teenage girls walk in there, buy their avocado toast, and take Snapchat pictures, they don't get in trouble and get penalized for it. So why are they targeting me? Why? Why? Hi, bye. I won't shut up about this because I am actually so fed up with the people in this small town singling me out, targeting me, and treating me like crap for doing nothing wrong. And I guess until I can somehow get over the way they treated me today, singled me out and humiliated me in the general public while I was sitting and dining alone, then maybe I'll quit posting about it. But until the entire fucking world, until one of these videos go viral and hit the news over the fact I was discriminated against, harassed, and bullied in the public eye for doing nothing but sharing happiness, I won't let it go. And you're not gonna fucking stop me. We don't want you recording in here in our place of business anymore. Okay, I'll record right here from my car then. Bye. Bye. And there's nothing you can do to stop me. Not a single thing. If you piss off the wrong customer, just remember they can leave a bad review. I stand by that statement.
As you can see, Adrielle threw a huge temper tantrum online about this situation. She ended up posting over 40 videos within that first day talking about this situation. She even posted a video with some examples of the different TikToks she had made inside of this coffee shop, and she thought she was going to be proving that none of them were disruptive, but she kind of proved the exact opposite.
We love having you as a customer, but we no longer want our business to be part of your vlogs. How is this fair? A local coffee shop owner told me, you're not allowed to record in here anymore. You can come in here as a customer, but no more filming. How could she say that to me and not everyone else? Like, how come people in this small town think that one rule can only apply to me, but not everyone else? Like, unless your coffee shop has a sign that says no filming, why do you just want to lay that rule on me instead of the rest of the general public going into your coffee shop? Now, I'll show you some of the videos I've made in this coffee shop. There really weren't too many. There's this one. TikTok shared a post saying it's spooky that children between ages 8 and 12 on average want to grow up to be a vlogger or YouTuber. There's this one, and that was empty. There were no customers. So they can't claim people are complaining because there were no customers in there when I made that video. This one. Bitch, you know I'm sexy. Now, when I do these, I have the volume low. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's low. I already know the song. I just am making the trend. This is one. This is one.
Oh my gosh. She's bald.
They're just like random TikToks. My volume is low. And not to mention, other people have their devices on too. It's a coffee shop. There were these ones. This one. Wait, this one. They're just me in the video. I guess there's this one and people are in the background, but That was like the skeleton dancing trend. Everyone did. I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. My videos in the coffee shop are the same videos millions of other people make on TikTok. They're harming no one. Like, literally.
I want to cry because I love this coffee shop and they close in 1 minute and I have to go and I'm not done work yet. And it's just so relaxing here. It's such a vibe, but I have to leave and I'm so...
And half the time I'm the only person in the coffee shop in those videos. And I'm saying good things, so it's just like blowing my mind, this double standard. You can't record in here, but everyone else can. Maybe you should put up a sign that says no recording then, because that's not fair. And I just am like genuinely happy when I'm in your coffee shop sharing little snippets on TikTok of my day. This woman literally said no more vlogs in my coffee shop. No more vlogs.
Luckily, not many people sided with her on this one because she is inherently wrong here. You don't have the right to film inside of a private business if they don't want you to. And it's also at their discretion if they only want to apply that rule to people who are being disruptive. If someone films themselves for a couple seconds taking a sip of a drink and there's no sound coming from their phone, I guarantee you most places would not ask them to stop filming because they're not being disruptive. But most of the examples she tried to show and say aren't disruptive are absolutely disruptive to other people. She admitted that every time she made a TikTok in there, her phone was playing sound out loud. She says it was quiet, but quiet isn't silent. You know what I mean? Just because you think that it's quiet for you doesn't mean that anyone else wants to hear that. It's generally considered by most people to be rude to play any kind of sound out loud on your phone out in public. Get some headphones and stop bothering other people, you weirdo. What Adrielle failed to mention in her many videos on this topic from that day is that her last video that she created inside of their business was accusing them of a crime.
Did I accidentally take a video and picture of a hidden camera? There's this shiny thing reflecting at the bottom of the plant. But when you look at the other plant, it doesn't have that shiny reflective thing. And then you have to question, are these plants fake or real? They can't be real. It would drip on a customer's head or get the couch that I'm sitting on wet. But maybe they're real plants. This plant in the bathroom was definitely fake because obviously there's no sunlight. But that's just in a wicker basket. These plants can't be real. Because if they're real, water would drip on a customer. But these plants can't be fake. Because they're in a pot that requires water drainage. So if it's a real plant, it doesn't make sense to put it above a customer's head. If it's fake, it doesn't make sense for it to have the draining pot. And if it's a hidden camera, well, it can't be because all of these plants are right behind where customers sit. And the ceiling is weird though, so you probably couldn't have surveillance cameras up there. These big industrial beams would obstruct the camera's view. I've actually never seen surveillance cameras in the ceiling. I don't know if that's one. Maybe? But there's no way that could be a camera because then the camera would see our screens to our personal devices, our laptops, our phones, our credit card numbers if we're drinking coffee and catching up on some bills. But I just want to know why that shiny thing reflects from that, but not that. Either way, it's weird. And I would always sit here and make videos. And they were always positive, upbeat, and kind videos. Then out of nowhere one day, the owners were just like, no recording, no more. But everyone else can. The only difference between them and me is that I have close to 500,000 followers on TikTok. I don't know. What do you guys think? It could just be a coincidence.
So Adrielle got paranoid again, made a claim with no proof on the internet, and likely the owners probably saw this and then stopped her the next time they saw her to tell her she can't film anymore, because why wouldn't they? I really don't blame them. That's a wild thing that she said about them, and also a wild thing to leave out when you're explaining the situation to everyone else. It's just another point that proves that she does not mind lying, spreading misinformation, or exaggerating for people to feel bad for her. She stretches the truth in a way to always make herself the victim, when often she is not the victim in the situation. Adrielle thinks she is the main character, and that makes her very entitled, and she thinks she can do whatever she wants no matter where she is. This coffee shop is not the first business that has asked Adrielle not to film on the premises. She was in a TJ Maxx filming at the register when a worker asked her to stop filming.
Put everything on the shelf. We got some cool stuff. A speaker, some makeup stuff.
Because we don't feel comfortable with it being recorded in here.
I can't record in here?
No.
I'm not recording you.
I know, but just for like the safety, just in case like my voice isn't.
I do TJ Maxx hauls.
I know, but just in case, like they can hear my voice, people's voices. Yeah.
We're not gonna buy anything.
Okay.
And I'm gonna post this to social media.
Did you see that smile and the glint in her eye when she was told she couldn't film anymore? It was like in that split second, she decided that she was happy because she was going to be able to flip out on somebody. And she did. She threw a little temper tantrum saying that they weren't going to buy any of the stuff they were there for anymore and they were going to be leaving. And she did. And then she also posted a few videos after the fact when she was calling the corporate office as well as trying to talk to the manager of that store specifically. Like she actively wanted to try to get that person in trouble and trying to prove that they're allowed to film in there. And that's just not the case. If the worker is asking you not to film them, even not to film their voice, like in this situation, you should just listen to them. It does nothing to you to be kind to them if they don't want to be on your video. I just don't understand why she feels so entitled to be filming around these people when they're asking her to stop. By the end of the 40-plus video rant about the coffee shop, Adrielle settled on the idea that they were just jealous of her because she's a young, attractive female who has a lot of money and is famous on TikTok, and they were just trying to hinder her success. She claims that she is looking into suing them for discrimination, and I think that's hilarious. I would love to see her try because, yeah, you can sue anyone for anything, Adrielle, and I'm sure a lawyer would love to take your money, but you are not getting anywhere in the court system with this. You are not discriminated against. That's just not the case. And I don't think it would help your case if you do try to take them to court with the fact that you doxed them, showed their picture and their name of the owners on your 40-plus video rant. People harassed them over that. So, yeah, I don't think that she would get very far in the court system with this. I think that they would laugh in her face. This whole thing is straight up delusional. And this is when the dominoes really started to fall for Adrielle. Anyone who believed her stalking story or any of the other smaller sympathy grabs that she did over the years were really disgusted with her behavior in this situation, since she was single-handedly trying to take down a local business. It's not even a chain coffee shop. It's just a local coffee shop in her town. And she was literally trying to take them down just because they asked her not to be disrupting other people in their business. They didn't even ban her from the shop at that time. She was still welcome to go back there as a customer, although probably not now with all the things that she said and the doxing and all that. But she was not banned at that time. They just didn't want her to film anymore. So it's really crazy and such an overreaction on her part to be doing the things that she was doing at that time, just because they asked her not to film. About 4 months after the initial incident, Adrielle changes her story.
Do you support Zionism? Or do you stand with Palestine? I have a story to tell you because I say free Palestine. Last fall, I was a regular customer at a local coffee shop. I would go to this coffee shop every single day. I would post selfies with my coffee. The employees encouraged me to record videos of their food and their products. We love when you record in here. In October of 2023, a tragedy took place between Israel and Palestine. I practice independent journalism on TikTok. Check out my playlist. I took it upon myself to pin all of my news videos that took place in this coffee shop, spreading the truth about Palestine. Back in October of 2023, I was on that like white on rice. Israel was committing genocide, and I was calling them out. And I was doing it eloquently in this coffee shop where I was working, because I would work there every morning on my videos. For the most part, I was sitting there editing videos. I wasn't filming. These are 3 of the videos I made in that coffee shop. Couple weeks go by. You know, I'm debunking propaganda. The owners say, we don't want you filming in here anymore. They want to silence me. I'm a young, attractive woman with a strong voice, with a head on my shoulders. I'm educated. Free Palestine, but also screw that coffee shop. It was never a problem for me to film in their coffee shop when I was talking about my coffee, talking about the food they share, food they sell. It was never a problem for me to film in their coffee shop when I was lip syncing or when I was taking selfies. But when Palestine got involved, when my independent journalism got involved, that coffee shop, both of their owners got on me. They said no more filming. The rest of the customers can continue filming, but not me. That coffee shop supports Zionism. And what a time for them to tell me not to film. When everyone started boycotting Starbucks, what a time. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how many followers you have. I don't care if you're Ray William Johnson with 10 million followers. That coffee shop had a problem with my news. That coffee shop,
Palestinians are just like you and me.
Had a problem with me advocating for Palestine, and they didn't want to come out and say it. So if you have a problem that I know how to stand my ground, and I know how to report discrimination as I see fit, because I am an independent woman with a strong voice and a large platform that gets lots of attention, come at me, because I will defend Palestine to the grave. Bye.
So now it's politically motivated? I'm sorry, but she had 4 months in many posts that she made about this to mention it. But suddenly now, a third of a year later, it's always been politically motivated? I'm sorry, I just don't believe that. Adrielle has been attempting to use the Free Palestine movement to make herself look good, and it is not working so well. She spends a lot of time posting things that make her look really bad, so that's probably why she's trying to do this performative activism stuff to make herself look a little better. She never stopped going to Starbucks and doesn't even seem to really be trying to hide it on her socials. So she either doesn't know enough about what's going on over there to know that Starbucks is helping to fund that, and so she'd never stopped because she doesn't know and doesn't really care about it that much, or she knows and just doesn't care and is only saying she's pro-Palestine because she wants the social brownie points or whatever to seem like a better person. Either way, she doesn't care about that cause that she is claiming that she does care about, and people should know that. Adrielle claiming the owners of the coffee shop are Zionist with no proof whatsoever may actually have crossed the line into defamation on her part, meaning that the owners could probably sue her if they see any decline in business because of her claims. Her original story was that they were just jealous of her success as an influencer and because she's young and beautiful. That's annoying and a little bit delusional, but it's not defamation. But these claims that she's making of them being Zionist absolutely could negatively affect their business, and if it does, I hope they sue the unbuttoned jean shorts off this chick. It's not just TJ Maxx and this local coffee shop that have had trouble with Adrielle in their business. A few months ago, she posted this video.
I am at a pediatrician's office. It is 3:15 p.m. We arrived here right on schedule, a little before 2:45 p.m. We have been in this waiting room for 30 minutes. So I went to the front desk and asked, I've been waiting for my son to be seen for 30 minutes. I'd like him to be seen, please, now. The receptionist said, I'll walk back there and see what's going on. I waited at the counter. She walked back and said, all of the patient rooms' doors are closed. Patients are occupying the rooms. I spoke with someone and she said she's on it. She'll try to make sure that she sees your son soon. I'm gonna keep an eye on the clock. It's now 3:16. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that I scheduled an appointment for him to be seen at a time that they're late. They're late. How do you justify being late? If they make the excuse there's too many patients, maybe they should lower the number of patients they see in one day. Because the longer I sit in this sick child area, the more of a risk I am of getting sick. And the more others are at a risk of getting sick. I'm in upstate New York. The weather looks like this. It's cold, cloudy, and raining. Nobody's required to wear a mask if they're sick. I'll just go outside in the drizzle. I don't even care at this point. People have their babies running around all over the place. There's kids sick and coughing with fevers. And this is why moms end up getting sick all the time and can't go to work. This is how germs get spread. We're at this doctor's office. who doesn't even enforce people wear a mask. They don't have any windows open, and they're making us wait. It's been 40 minutes now, sitting with a bunch of sick kids, waiting for my son to be seen. I'm about to lose it. If they have too many patients, they shouldn't put them on the schedule. It's that simple. It is 3:28. We are finally in an office where a nurse comes in, asks why he's here. And now we wait a little bit more for the pediatrician. So let's see how much longer we wait for the pediatrician. So we went from waiting in a waiting room to now waiting in the more private waiting room, the patient room. It is 3:48. We are in the car. My mom is driving. We just left. 3 minutes after I got done recording, the pediatrician saw him at 3:31. It took her less than 15 minutes to examine him. So that means our total wait time was 46 minutes. We waited for 46 minutes. That is just terrible. If we were scheduled to be seen at 2:45, he should have been examined at 2:45. If not, you should just have us call and check in and have you call us when the doctor is ready, and we'll be there on our time since you're making your time all about our time. That's ridiculous.
This video proves to me that Adrielle has no concept of what the real world is actually like, and that she thinks that she is above it all. Sometimes you have to wait for things, and yeah, it's not fun. No one wants to feel like they're waiting around for nothing and that they're wasting their time, but that's just how it is sometimes. It's a regular part of life that sometimes something happens and people get behind. It's a normal occurrence. Let me give you a little bit of local insight as someone who lives kinda nearby to where Adrielle does. This entire part of New York State is underserved when it comes to doctors and dentists. There are more patients than there are people that can see them as dentists and doctors in this area. And that means that every place of medicine is running at their maximum capacity of patients. There's often also people waiting on wait lists to get seen because sometimes these places aren't accepting new patients for months and even years because there's so many people that need to be seen. This usually means that because they're seeing so many people every day and things are probably really strictly scheduled out, if there's something unexpected that happens at the beginning of the day, it'll actually throw off the rest of the day, and then all of the appointments of the day will be behind. And unfortunately, that is something that happens sometimes. I know that I've been at the doctor waiting for over an hour. Like, it happens, and they don't want to make you wait that long. But unfortunately, that is what happens sometimes. They get behind and they'll see you as soon as they can. That is a normal occurrence that a lot of people have gone through. Adrielle suggested that if they can't handle seeing that many people in a day, or that they'll be behind because of it, that maybe they shouldn't see so many patients. But where are they supposed to go, Adrielle? It's like that everywhere around here because there's not as many doctors and dentist offices as we would need for the amount of people that need it, right? It's so crazy to me that she thinks it's okay to flip out like that over a 40-minute wait. Like, she truly believes that this doctor's office inflicted trauma onto her by making her wait for 40 minutes. She literally paced around their waiting room talking to herself on her phone, and then she started to get a little more heated, so there was a cut, and then she's outside now. And then she's pacing, screaming at this point, around the outside of the building, which, first of all, you shouldn't even film outside of a place like that, because anyone who wants to know exactly where you are, they can find out. That place, it would be so easy to figure out where she was at that time. I just think it's so silly that she had such a major reaction to having to wait for 40 minutes. I especially think it's funny when near the end she's in the patient's room with her son just off screen waiting for the doctor to come in. She's still ranting at like a 9 out of 10 level of anger, kind of yelling still inside this room, complaining that they were in the waiting room and that they were moved then to the patient room and now they're waiting on the doctor, that they're waiting even longer for this doctor to come in. It's like, yeah, Adrielle, that's how the doctor's office works. Why does she think that they're doing all these things to spite her? This is literally the normal occurrence of seeing a doctor. I don't understand why she thinks that it would be any different than what she's experiencing. That is a totally normal doctor's visit. I really don't think she's been to the doctor that much if that's her reaction, because, like, honestly, truly, that is a completely normal situation, and I don't understand why she got so angry about it. Shortly after posting her angry video ranting about the doctor's office, Adrielle received a couple letters in the mail.
My children's pediatrician office sent me a letter saying that they're no longer taking my children anymore as a patient because I made a video. It is 3:15 p.m. We arrived here right on schedule a little before 2:45 p.m. We've been in this waiting room for 30 minutes. I made 2 TikTok videos that I think it's outrageous how long we have to wait in the waiting room with other sick kids. I did not specify which office I was at. I did not name the business publicly. I'm just a mom upset that I have to wait so long in a pediatrician's office. Now, they send me 2 letters for each one of my children who are a patient at their office, saying that they are withdrawing from further professional attendance on my child. Both children, they sent me 2 letters per child. That can't be legal. That sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen. I'm a customer. I'm paying you. You're making me wait. But if I were to make you wait, you would either cancel on me or charge me a late fee. And as one of your customers, speaking on behalf of my child who's your patient, I have a right to leave a review. You can't just withdraw services on a patient for leaving a bad review. I'm still not releasing the name of this pediatrician's office yet, but I would like all of the public's opinion on this. Legal opinion.
Adrielle's 2 youngest kids lost their doctor because of Adrielle's shitty behavior. She tries to justify recording in the waiting room, but there is no excuse for this. Most places of medicine have the rule that you can't record inside. People are sick. They're there and they're unwell. They don't want to be recorded. So, of course, they have these rules in place. It's for the privacy of those people who are sick. You would think, since it's a pediatrician's office, that Adrielle would actually take that kind of seriously and not try to record these sick children, but, you know, she doesn't really care about that. She cares about being able to flip out about something and to be looking like a victim online, so that's what she was focused on, while her kid was just trying to get some health care. I also thought it was a little messed up that she was trying to say that she didn't name the place, but she was walking around the entire outside of the building. If someone wanted to know bad enough where she was and the name of the place, they could find out using just the outside of the building. She also showed a close-up of the letter that she received, and even though she had folded the top and the bottom away so that you couldn't see her information or their information, within the body of the letter itself, there was an abbreviation of the name of that place. And I don't think she realized that, because all I had to type was those 3 letters of the abbreviation and the name of the city she's in, and I had the exact name of that place. So she is actively in a video where she doxed their name, the abbreviation of their name. In that video, she's still claiming that she didn't say their name when she did. She showed the abbreviation of their name, and that was so fast. It took me less than 2 seconds to find that name. So she really did dox their name while still trying to maintain the idea that she didn't. She's also way too happy about this situation. It's the same as the one before when she was in the TJ Maxx. She is smiling. She is so happy to have something to be angry about that she thinks seems justified to other people. And it's something that she can go on about for weeks and have lots of content that she can make about it. It's win-win for her. She'll make money off of it. She even admits in this video that she thinks it could lead to a lawsuit, like she's going to sue them for not wanting to see her kids anymore. But the thing is that they can fire anyone anytime they want as a patient. They don't even really have to have a great reason. Like, you don't have to do something illegal to them for them to fire you as a patient. She's claiming that because she pays them that they have to see her kids, and that is just not how it works. If you are disruptive in any way, even if it's not the patient themselves, in this case it's not the patient, it's the patient's mother, and they're minors. So she's always going to be there, and they don't want to deal with her. So her kids lose a doctor because they can't stand her. It's ridiculous. She tries to act as if they only got rid of her kids as a patient because she left them a bad review after having to wait for 40 minutes. But that's not the reason why they kicked her out, and she knows that. She won't admit it, but she knows it. The fact that she acts so entitled to the doctor's time just because she pays him, it's comical. That is not how any of this works. And maybe, Adrielle, if you weren't so focused on ranting and being disruptive on their property, maybe your kids would still have a doctor and they wouldn't be suffering the consequences of your actions. As I stated before, this area is very underserved when it comes to dentists and doctors' offices, and that means that she's going to have a really tough time finding another pediatrician's office for her kids to go to. I saw that waiting room in her video. It seemed really nice. There was a huge fish tank with a bunch of fish in it. It seemed like there was nice furniture. It seemed like a good place to go. A good place that you would want to go when taking your kids to the doctor. So she'll be lucky if she finds a place in this area even half as nice as the place that I saw in her video, especially when she acts like that. I don't know if she realizes this, but people in the same industry talk. So likely these doctors that fired her kids as patients are talking to the other doctors in the area and have told them, like, be careful of her. If you take on the kids, you're going to have to deal with the mom, and I promise you don't want to do that. Now that you know the type of person that Adrielle is, let's get into the most recent situation that happened just last month. At the beginning of May of 2024, Adrielle posted this video.
My son had to stay after school. It is 5 o'clock. He's still not home. He had issues with Spanish class. He was going to stay after to finish an assignment and leave when it's done. It's 5 o'clock. I still haven't heard from my son. He hasn't walked home. He hasn't called for a ride. I'm blowing up his phone. I don't know where he is. I called the school and no one answered. His phone goes to voicemail. So I called the school and they don't answer. I think it's fucked up that if you have kids staying there after school, you should have your phones on at all times. You should answer the phone for parents at all times. If there are kids in your building, you should have your phones ringing and someone should be answering those phones at all times. So now I'm going to drive to the school and see if I can find him. I'm so sick of going through this. This is probably the worst school district I've ever had an experience with. This is Jamestown Public Schools. I'm in the school parking lot. I just got here. It's 5:05. This is terrifying. This lack of communication is just terrible. I didn't even know he was staying after today until I got a call from him. And then I called the school to confirm with the principal what was going on. I had a long talk with the principal. I really hope someone answers the door. I don't know if they're going to answer the door. No one's in the office. If they keep kids after school, they should tell us when they're going home. He's only 14. No one's here. I don't know what else to do. I've exhausted my resources. I'm going to have to call the freaking cops. Like, I'm going to have to call the cops to find him. His phone is ringing. He's not answering. He always answers. Shit, I'm losing my mind. I just want to move out of this city. I fucking hate it here. He's not answering. I'm going to run home and confirm he's not home. And if he's not home, I have to call the cops. I will keep you guys posted. I just pulled over. My son is calling me. Where are you?
I'm on that street by that old school.
Okay, but where are you okay?
No, I'm not fucking okay. Just pick me up.
What? Where are you? He hung up. Call 911. I'm on the way. What school are you by? Where are you?
I'm on the other side of the street. I'm on the street that's...
What school? Jefferson or Rogers?
No, Rogers. Yeah, on the other side.
Okay. I will be right there. Call 911. Okay. I just got here and he's not here. I called 911. They said they have no one available. Where are you? I am at the school and you're not here.
I'm coming to you. Back up your car a little bit.
I had to hang up my call with 911 because they said they have no one available and I can't find my son. What happened?
So Adrielle's son has not come home on time, and her first thought and reaction is to open her phone and start filming a TikTok. And she's not even filming a TikTok about herself being upset because her son has not come home. Her video is mostly about ranting about the school not answering the phone after hours, which is completely normal. After a certain time, there's no one there to answer the phone. There are adults in the building, but not at the main line that she's probably calling. And then she also doxes the name of her son's school. Like, why would you want to do that? Why would you tell people what school your son is in? He's a minor. What is wrong with you? I don't think my first reaction to a situation like this would be to start filming myself with my phone, but I digress. So she goes to the school in an attempt to find him, and she's pressing like the doorbell or whatever to be let into the school. Again, no one answers because no one's in that office at that time. So she finally realizes she's not going to find him there like that. She turns around and starts to go home. And on her way back home is when he finally tries to contact her. So she sets up her phone to start recording first and then answers the call. So she let the phone ring for a moment while she was setting that phone up. I promise you that happened. That's so fucked up that she thinks that she should make her son wait while she doesn't know what's going on yet. Make him wait for her to set up her phone to record first before she answers. Later the same day, Adrielle posted the following video. Now, before I show you, I gotta let you know that she did not censor anything. Any of the censoring that you see in a moment is censoring that I had to do because she doxed the name and the photo of a minor as well as a picture of the outside of their home, meaning that people can find out where they live. Absolutely disgusting behavior for her to do that, especially to underage people, but that is what happened, so I wanted you to know. She did not censor this. I did that, just so you know.
My son has a chipped tooth now because of this kid right here. This is where my son was assaulted and almost lost his life. I thought they were in that new splash pad. They were actually right here in a very old swimming pool that once existed in the 1950s. And it was a very dangerous place to attack someone and jump someone. They're surrounded by woods. They led him down here. This boy did the most damage. This boy ran off with my son's new pair of Nike Jordans. This boy kept kicking my son while he was down and ripped off my son's gold chain. My son thinks they took the chain, but in the event it fell off his neck, I'm over here searching for it. I'm not finding the chain. My son almost lost his life. Right here. He almost lost his life today. And then he was threatened that if he tells anyone who these boys are, there were 9 of them. If they had said, if you ever tell anyone who we are and what we did, we're coming for your house tonight. There were 9 other boys. I drove around. I know who some of them are because my son goes to school with them, and I saw them right here sitting on this porch. Just slowed down. They sprinted. The minute they saw my car, they sprinted across the street, ran in the bushes. I followed them with my car. And then they finally slowed down, and they said, "What?" Well, the one kept running because he had the shoes right up held to his chest. So he kept running because obviously I see the shoes. This kid and this kid got an attitude. What's going on? I said, you know exactly what's going on. Give me the shoes and give me his chain. Then they started to run. They ran. This one played it off longer than expected. He just was like, is everything okay? Is everything okay? And it turns out he's the one who did the most damage to my son.
So her son is injured and almost lost his life in that spot. Yet she's going back there looking for a necklace. Adrielle, you need to get your priorities straight. Why do you care more about the necklace than you do about the fact that your son is in the hospital? She also spoke about confronting these teens at the private residence because they were outside on the porch or something. She shows a picture of it even. So she doxed these people's address, right? Shouldn't she be with her son, though? Why are you out looking for a necklace and confronting minor children on the front porch of their house, doxing them in a video on TikTok, instead of being with your son who is hurt? Why are these your priorities right now? It makes no sense to me that she made that decision. Sticking with her pattern of posting video after video after video when something bad happens to her, Adrielle posted a video asking for $30,000 to help her move because she is now claiming that her and her family have to move out of state for their safety.
I have put this GoFundMe together. The link is in my bio. Our lives are in danger. We have to move as soon as possible. I just paid my rent until September 1st. So I'm paid up until the end of August, but I cannot stay here anymore. I am in a very scary situation. A situation I hope no one ever has to be in. A situation where our lives are being threatened, our house is being threatened to be broken into. I'm in a situation where a group of young boys, some were older teenagers who were in high school, some were like age 15, 16. They are waiting for my son. Some of the kids, there were 9 of them, will go to school with my son and they're threatening him in school. I have to pull my son out of school now and homeschool him He was robbed. He was brutally assaulted. And I need to move as soon as possible. I cannot give my new location away. I will also be working on internet sources that remove my address from all search engines. I'm putting a GoFundMe together. If you don't want to help, you don't have to. If it bothers you that I just want to be living somewhere safe, I don't know what else to do at this point. I just had my whole car fixed. I took my kids back to summer shopping. I paid my rent for 4 months. I am now down to X amount of dollars. I'm not going to say how much money I have left, but I'm going to tell you right now it is not enough to move. And I don't even know if I'd get approved if I apply to rent somewhere. I don't want to stay in the state of New York because teenagers do not get arrested in this state. They walk the streets. It's terrifying here. So I'm going to move to a different state that holds children accountable for committing crimes such as threats to take someone's life, assaults. I have to go back to the hospital now. I have a family member and my son in the emergency room with a police officer looking after him. They suggested I go back and look for that gold chain that may have been ripped off and thrown around in the pool, but it was not there. It was stolen. I just want to move as soon as possible because our lives are at risk.
So she starts saying that these 9 teens are threatening to break into their house, they are bullying her son in school, and that they're also threatening their lives. And multiple times she starts putting on this show, like acting like she's crying when there's no tears coming out. So people didn't really fully believe her, especially because of the amount that she was asking for. People pointed out in the comments that she did not need $30,000 to be able to move to another state. It just does not cost that much. She's asking for way more than what would be necessary for her to move if it is seriously an emergency and she has to move as soon as possible. But the thing is that she admitted at the beginning of this video that she had paid up her rent for 4 months just before it happened. And in this area, I would estimate, give or take, that she had spent about $4,000 for that rent. And so if she had $4,000 laying around to be able to pay ahead on her rent, which most people, unless you're like super rich, cannot pay ahead on any of their bills, but especially on rent. So the fact that she was able to have $4,000 like that, but now she's asking for $30,000 to be able to move, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Finally, after posting those other videos where her son is in the hospital and she is not, she finally returns to the hospital to be with her son.
This is the hospital bed my son has been laying in. This is the mud that has been covering his clothes. He's covered in blood. He's covered in mud. His clothes are ripped off of him. He's not wearing any shoes. A group of 9 or 10 boys jumped him, brutally assaulted him after school. They ripped the shoes off his feet, his brand new Nike Jordans. The boys told my son if he tells anyone what they did, they're going to come to our house tonight or the next time we're home, break in and take our lives. I can't even, and I don't want to show the condition my son is in right now. This is like a walking, living nightmare. He's getting CAT scans, RT scans, x-rays. This is terrifying. Not only did they premeditate this to rob him, they're also threatening all of our lives. I need to move as soon as possible. I don't feel safe anymore in the city of Jamestown, New York. As much as I try to make things positive, things like this happen. The crime is too high. I've put a GoFundMe together to move as soon as possible. At this point, my income fluctuates. I don't know if I'd be approved, but I know if I pay a lease off in full, like 6 months or 12 months in full, I'd be more likely to be approved, and that's why the GoFundMe is so high. Also, moving furniture and stuff like that and hiring movers, and I plan on moving out of state, is going to be a lot. Utilities. I am fucking terrified right now. I have pictures of all the boys' faces, well, 3 of them. I have some names, and we did file a police report, but some of these boys are in school with my son. and I do not feel safe taking my son to school tomorrow.
Why is she so much more focused on the fact that his shoes and his necklace were stolen and that his clothes were ripped versus the fact that he was injured? Why does she care so much more about the monetary value of the things that were taken or damaged than she is by her son being hurt? That makes no sense to me. She says that she doesn't even want to show the condition that her son is in on camera, but for some reason, I just don't believe her. Is it possibly because she is recording the blood in the dirt on the empty bed while he's likely off getting tests? Or maybe the fact that she spent most of her time since finding out that he was missing filming herself? Maybe that's why. And oh, she also went live from in this hospital room while her son is getting help. She asked for people to donate on the live if they can't donate on GoFundMe, because the GoFundMe has a $5 minimum. So if they wanted to donate less than $5, they would have to do it on TikTok Live. So basically, while her son is injured in the hospital trying to get some help, she's in the same room as him begging people for money. To most normal people, this is very disturbing to see her going live from a hospital room, but apparently she thinks that's totally normal and something that anyone would do. The next day, Adrielle finds out that there's actually a video of this fight. So she posts some little snippets of the sounds of him being taunted while they beat him up, and she also starts saying the names and showing the faces of some of these minors. I'm not even going to show this video because that is like way too far to be doxing these kids, because she's so open about where she lives. The moment that she says their name and shows their face, people know where they live now, and they're going to try to find them and go after them because she has a huge following. You may think I'm being a little too protective of these teen boys who robbed and beat someone up, but once you know the details, you will agree with me most likely. The full video was released online shortly after Adrielle was posting these snippets, and people realized that what she had posted was really out of context, and it was really misconstrued how things actually went down. All the videos that Adrielle made about this situation made it out to seem like these boys only jumped her son because they wanted to steal things from him, like they're criminals and they're low income, so they have to steal from her son because her son is the son of a rich, famous influencer, right? That's how she thinks. So she made it seem like that's the only reason they did it was because they could steal from him. She also makes it seem like he was beaten within an inch of his life, and while yeah, he did have some injuries from being hit and kicked, he wasn't almost dead from this. He was released the same night after only a few hours. If he was beaten within an inch of his life, he would definitely have been kept for observation because you don't usually come back from that within a couple hours. Now, let me tell you what actually happened. Adrielle's 14-year-old son is being accused by 4 different teenage girls of inappropriate touching from him. Some of them are claiming they were asleep while this happened. So these teen boys, one of them is the brother of one of these girls that claims that he did this to them. And so they pre-planned the fight. And Adrielle even admitted that the fight was pre-planned. But she didn't admit that her son was a part of that plan. Her son agreed to meet up with these boys. He was not lured out into the woods like she made it seem. In Adrielle's video where she found out about the video and played little snippets, she only played the parts where they were screaming at him and like insulting him. But what she didn't play were the parts of that video where you can hear a girl screaming, "That's what you get for touching people." You can hear the pain in this girl's voice. It is visceral. I'm not going to play it here because that can be really triggering for a lot of people, but I'm going to have the link in the description to the Reddit post if you want to hear this audio. You can hear the guys as well before and after she says that to him, that they are talking about you know that he touched 4 girls. So that is indisputable that is the reason why the fight happened. Adrielle completely mischaracterized this situation so she could get sympathy and donations online. And unfortunately, it absolutely has worked. She's gotten a ton of donations both on her GoFundMe and in her TikTok lives. And within a couple weeks of these donations starting to roll in, Adrielle went on vacation to Florida.
It's our first time entering an airplane. Me and my baby. Oh my God. Sven, how would you rate your first flying experience? A 9 out of 10. He didn't like his eardrums popping.
After she uploaded this video, she actually had to turn her comments off for quite a while because people were so upset that she was going on vacation. 2 weeks prior, she was claiming that they could not afford to move, but they have to move for their own safety because they're being threatened. And now she's going on vacation. If she could afford a vacation, she could afford to pay for herself to move. And that was the point that everybody was trying to make. Now, Adrielle claims that she put this vacation on a credit card, but between the flights for her and her son and the Airbnb or hotel for a week in Florida, that's several $1,000s that she just spent on a credit card that she could have used towards herself being able to buy the things she needs to move for their safety, right? Now, I understand that you cannot do a deposit or the first and last month's rent on a credit card to rent a place because that's not like real money that you own, and then it kind of shows that you may not have enough money to pay your rent every month. So they don't allow credit cards to be used for these types of transactions. So I understand she could not use this, however, several $1,000s, let's say $4,000. She could not use this $4,000 on the credit card to get the place, but there's a lot of other expenses for moving. For example, to get the movers, to get the truck that you need. There's a ton of things that she needs to do that will cost money that she could put on her credit card that aren't just the house that they're moving to. So I still don't understand why she would be taking a vacation at that time. And you know what? It's not even the first vacation that she's taken. This is just one of a few that she's taken since this whole situation went down. It makes no sense for her to be going on vacation at this time. And that's why people were seriously angry about it. Many people have also speculated that her son did not go to Florida the same day that she did. So likely what happened is she flew to Florida, she was there alone for a few days, and then her son flew in separately and joined up with her for the rest of that trip. And there's a couple reasons why people think that. So this was her son's first time on a plane. And we know the type of person that Adrielle is. If she was actually there with him on his first flight, you know that she would have been filming him the entire time and asking him all about how he's enjoying the flight. But that never happened. The only thing they ever posted about him was on their way home from Florida back to New York. She posted as they're leaving the gate from the airplane. She asked him how was his first flight, but technically that was his second flight. So the only reason I can see that she would make that video during his second flight and asking him how his first flight was is if she wasn't on the first flight with him. The second reason that people think that he came later is actually because of her. So she is very well known for getting drunk when she doesn't have her kids with her. She gets absolutely wasted and she starts posting all these TikToks on her TikTok page while she's drunk. And it's stuff that she really should not be posting. And she realizes that because the next day, when she's sober again, she deletes them all. And this happens quite a lot. So there's actually a subreddit now of people that are trying to expose her lies, but also like download these deleted videos of hers and post them so people can still see them. And I was actually able to get my hands on one of them. So the first couple days when she was alone and her son was not there, which is most likely the case, she was acting like this out in public.
Bro, TikTok is obsessed with where I am right now. And I am not disclosing that information until I'm never actually disclosing it. So, dude, what is it with these cars pulling over every time they see me, asking me if I need a ride? I shit you not, an Escalade. Fuck, I would show you, but I don't want you to see the license plate to see what state I'm in. I shit you not, an Escalade just said, are you good? Do you need a ride? And then they drove off because I looked at them. It's like in a flash. Anyway.
You ready for an Uber?
I'm not waiting for an Uber. I have legs that walk. But anyway. Dude, it's real. It's very real. I have so many thoughts going on in my head, I don't even know where to start. Where do I begin? So TikTok is obsessed with where I am right now because I'm kind of a big deal. I'm kind of a big deal. Bitch, I bought it off the muscle. I have muscles because I'm vegan, duh. And you should go vegan. That's where it all started. You need to be vegan. Everyone should be vegan now. My name's Adrielle. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. None of this fucking matters. But I'm kind of trying to find a cute other TikToker to date. But not really. I don't need to date anyone. But I like guys and they're hot and I'm a little drunk and a little buzzed. So if I could find a cute TikToker who doesn't know where I am to flirt with me,
That would be cool. But they're all in like LA or New York City. That's what I'm understanding. I'm like, what the fuck? Or they're just like, what's that called? The hit or miss TikTokers who are like, I've got a hot tub with your name on it. Dude. What? As long as you look good. You look good from a distance, but you might not look good close up.
Sorry.
What's your zodiac sign? I can't tell if you're hot. Oh, you have a head full of hair. I'm glad that you took your hat off and confirmed that. So, like, do you want to go swimming?
Where?
In a hot tub or pool? It's connected.
That's up to you. I can go. Are you Italian? I'm Italian too.
What's your zodiac sign?
Cancer.
I don't like cancers.
I'm sorry. I'll leave you.
Okay.
Just please, look, don't be out too long.
Oh, I'm like a hop skipping away from here, walking distance. It's that way. Yeah.
You don't want me asking what's your sign?
Aries. You've got Riz. Wait, how old are you?
26.
Oh, I'm 33. What?
I said I'm sorry if I got in the way. I just.
In the way of what? All the men beating me down with a stick? What do you mean got in the way?
What?
Got in the way with what?
Maybe. No, you said maybe. You know, the stick. I'm like,
So it's like an expression, like, dude, I'm such a millennial. I can't. It's an expression, like, ooh, they're beating you down with a stick. You've never heard of that?
I've never heard of that. No, but like, if that's the truth, then I'm sorry.
Okay, all the men rizzing me up.
I wasn't trying to. I was just trying to shake your hand.
No.
Hey,
I'm Adrielle. Nice to meet you. I'm about to be in a hot tub live on TikTok. So let's see what happens and take it from there. I'll see you soon. I'm about to be I was supposed to be live on TikTok in a hot tub, but I got lost walking back to where I'm staying. These slides are for sale on my TikTok shop. They have walked me through some crazy times, no cap. So I guess click the pink circle if I'm live soon. That means I made it back to where I'm staying. Where the hell am I going? I'm too drunk for this.
Even if you actually believe, Adrielle, that she did put this vacation on her credit card, there is actually a video that proves that she did not need to make this GoFundMe and that she can afford to move on her own. Just 4 days before Adrielle posted the video of her son being missing and her running out trying to find him, she posted a video breaking down her expenses for the month of April 2024.
This month I spent close to $17,000. I'm a single stay-at-home mom of 3. So I'm financially responsible for 3 little humans. A lot of your jaws dropped. How could you possibly spend that much in 1 month? Well, here's how. First of all, I pay my rent in advance, and it was due. Then my car had to get totally repaired. That alone was close to $5,000, and I also had to rent a car, which was over $1,000. So now we're already at close to $8,000. Okay, so what? You still spent $12,000, huh? Yeah, because if you think about it, kids are always growing, and you have to take them back to summer shopping. I'm in New York and they need summer clothes. So that was like $1,600. And then we had to pay for groceries. And my kids like to eat at restaurants, DoorDash, and they're in sports. I spend about $3,000 a month on groceries. So now we're almost up to $5,000. Because between DoorDash and restaurants, I spend probably $800 a month. Okay, then there's gas. Gas is probably only a couple $100 a month, honestly. There's my car payment. Then my utility bills, which are sky high. My utility bills are easily $800 a month. Then I have my internet. I have 2 phone bills. Each of my kids have a phone bill. So that's 5 bills. Then there's all of our subscriptions. Then they have like in-app purchases. Sometimes they buy games and stuff. And you have to give your kids allowance, so that's also income that's like my income that goes to them. Then you have to buy things off of Amazon. Like, you know, my daughter, she likes getting makeup and hair stuff, and I like getting hair stuff and supplements. And I get little things around the house off of Amazon. I can't really think about what else it is. It all adds up though, close to $17,000 a month. I do live in New York State. Oh yeah, I rent a garage too. I haven't paid that yet though. I have to pay that. I just reminded myself to do that now. So yeah, if you're a single mom and you're supporting 3 kids, and some months, you know, rent is due and your car needs to be fixed, you could easily spend $15,000 to $20,000 in a month. Let's not forget birthdays. Oh my God. And hair salons. You know, having kids, okay, maybe you don't have to spend money at hair salons, but you probably should if you want your kids to be happy. You don't have to put them in sports, but you should if you want your kids to be happy. I'm generous. I'm super generous. I invest all of my time into making a living through social media. And in return, that goes back to my kids, my investment. I wouldn't be a good parent if I just let my kids live at bare minimum. That sucks. Who the fuck wants to do that? This was the month my kids needed new cell phones too. I forgot about that.
Right out of her own mouth, she says that she spent $17,000 in April. But 4 days later, after she was talking about all these luxury items that she bought with this money, now she's saying that she needs the help of generous strangers and she needs to get $30,000 so that she can move. Those two things together cannot make sense. One of them can't be true if the other is. Like, you can't spend $17,000 and then also say that you need people to give you $30,000 so you can move. You obviously have the money to afford to move by yourself. You just want to use this situation to make even more money so that you can have other people fund your move instead of you having to pay for it yourself. It's as simple as this. Adrielle took a bad situation. She mischaracterized everything that happened to make her and her son the victims of the situation, and then used that misrepresentation to garner sympathy and collect donations online. It's absolutely disgusting, to say the least. When enough people realized that she actually wasn't in need and that she was exaggerating a lot of things to make themselves seem like victims, it went seriously viral, like way more viral than she has ever been before. And it led to even articles being written about this situation. A ton of people reported the GoFundMe, and it was taken down for a little bit, and they were asking Adrielle for proof of certain things. Apparently, whatever she sent them was deemed credible because her GoFundMe did come back up a few days later and is still active to this day. She is still promoting it constantly on her page and still asking for more donations. Luckily, over the 3 weeks that I have been researching this, I have not seen that number go up more than like a few dollars. So luckily, she is not receiving many donations anymore because enough people that were feeling bad and giving her money have found out and have requested to get their money back. So those are all of the major controversies that I have seen regarding Adrielle, with the most recent being the worst, obviously. I was absolutely disgusted by her behavior and the way that she mistreats everyone around her. If what those girls allege actually took place, Adrielle's son needs help, but she is not going to help him. She is encouraging his behavior. She blindly defended him online from the moment she found out what happened. She made a GoFundMe for him and got a bunch of money from online strangers. And then she took him on a vacation right after that. So all of those things are proving to him that what he did was okay, because she is not doing anything to punish him. I can completely understand how her kids would end up like this, though. She is a completely absent mother. She does not want to have to do the things that a mom wants to do. She would rather get drunk and then go on live and make a bunch of money than actually take care of her kids, and that actually shows. There are so many different times that I haven't even shown in this video that she just does not want to be a mom, and she makes that very clear on her TikTok page. Adrielle is not in need of donations. She can afford to move on her own. She also likely isn't in the danger that she says she's in. I think that that's all an exaggeration just to get the money. I don't think they were ever in any danger like that. I felt that it was really important for me to spread this information so that others who may feel sympathy towards her will know that she's just a liar and a scammer, and they can actually donate that money to someone who really needs it, that's not lying and exaggerating their situation and actually needs that money. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate your support. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel and comment down below. If you want to see more, I upload once or twice a month, and I also go live several times a week playing video games. All right, take care, guys. Bye.